Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We are a very funny wrestling podcast out of the Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey, hey.
Follow us on all the stuff. Subscribe to our YouTube. That's the biggie. Send us comments. We like comments. Hit us up on TikTok, Blue Sky, and your favorite podcast app. Appreciate it. I thought about starting off with bienvenidos, but then I realized I don't know anything further than welcome. Like, do I say bienvenidos a la Wrestling Over Everything? I don't know. Maybe, but that's beside the point.
A Duolingo for that.
I've heard that doesn't work like at all to teach people how to, like, I've heard people use Duolingo for like years and they never learn how to speak the language.
I bet it's to varying degrees of success. I've heard some success stories, but also, I imagine it also depends on your diligence and your ability to pick it up. Like I could probably do it, and I would never learn Spanish because language is just not a thing that I'm any good at, other than English, which I have a degree.
Did you hear about the man who fell into an upholstery machine? He's fully recovered.
Oh, look, Jesus Christ. That one, I wish I didn't speak the language after that one. What are we talking about today, Dusty?
Today, we are covering, in memory of the backlash that just happened, I guess. There's a better way to say that. See? Language, not my thing. Maybe the best match in the history of the Backlash pay-per-view, and also the best match, one of these guys considers this the best match in the history of their career, which is quite illustrious. So we are covering the Cactus Jack / Mick Foley versus Randy Orton feud that spanned 2003 to 2004.
Two guys that I like, man. Orton was always, I always felt like Orton was like a 7 on the wrestling scale for me. Like, he was good, but he didn't really do much for me. But I still, as he's gotten older, I think I've appreciated him more. And in watching this feud, it was fun. I remember watching his first match ever. That was cool. And obviously Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, all those sons of bitches, Mankind. One of the greatest of all time. 4 of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, putting them up in the rafters for sure.
Yeah.
So a little bit of backstory here. First, we'll start with Orton. Of course, Randy Orton is the son of the backstabbing ass Bob Orton Jr.
Oh, I hate him. I hate him.
And the grandson of Bob Orton Sr. in this instance. So third generation, the old Randy Orton.
I can't remember whose back did he stab that made me hate him a month ago.
He's supposed to be his homie. Backstabbed him with Dirty Dick Slater.
That's when Flair came out with the skull bat to beat everybody up.
Yeah, the bat he won via points from Skull. So Orton, early in his life, he graduates from high school. He enrolls to become a Marine. And then he is given a bad conduct discharge in 1999 for going AWOL on 2 occasions. He got court-martialed and spent 38 days in a brig at Camp Pendleton. So after he is dishonorably or given a special conduct discharge, he decides to become a pro wrestler. Obviously, your backup plan always become a pro wrestler.
Listen, if it's like me, I'm always been telling myself, I'll just go become a teacher, but right. That's if your dad and grandpa were famous wrestlers, you're in Flynn, dog.
Yeah, so The Rock had, he was not in the Marines, but The Rock had a similar journey where he tried football and a couple other things and then was like, okay, I guess as a last resort, I'll go into my family's business that they've been famous in for 40 years. So Orton joins Ohio Valley Wrestling. He is in the same class as luminaries. Tell me if you heard of these guys. Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Batista.
I've heard of Batista, not the other two.
Yeah. Well, one of them you can't see. I don't know if you've heard that.
Listen, Dusty, we've talked about this. We need to retire this joke. We need to retire the joke.
I think it's on the way. I think it's on the way back around. I think the pendulum.
He has to go back for longer. It's like Borat. Borat had to go away for 15 years before My Wife was funny again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you hit me up in 2040. Hit me up in 2040 with it turns out you can't see that guy, and I'll laugh. But it's done.
Well, he doesn't even go away. John Cena's been the host of WrestleMania and was just on Backlash, so they're not really giving it a chance.
Backlash. Sorry.
Backlash. He's called up, but like you said, you watched the initial Randy Orton match. He is literally the
Just
default
blue shorts.
Create a wrestler. Just a blue shorts ass Randy Orton.
Shiny blue shorts.
And he's a babyface. Like, they made the exact same mistake they made with The Rock. Which is like, whenever you tell me this guy's got third generation pedigree and his dad and his grandpa are famous wrestlers, and then Randy Orton looks like a jerk. Not to besmirch the man, but he looks easy to boo. Like, look at that guy. I don't want to cheer for that guy.
I think they were going for blue-blooded All-American. I remember during the match, that's kind of, if this is my memory, this was, holy shit, 24 years ago. I got to deal with that for a second. But I was what is it, in May? So I was 11. And if I remember correctly, they were trying to go with like Golden Boy, like kind of All-American, works hard type guy, Yeah. But I mean, we hate that guy.
Yeah, he is unfortunately injured. He hurts his shoulder, but while he is injured, he turns heel and he starts doing these news updates, the RNN network, the Randy News Network, which is like very funny. That's at least that gives him some personality besides what you said, which is, just like aw shucks,
yeah.
White meat babyface stuff. So he returns and ends up being he rounded up in a stable with Triple H, Batista, Ric Flair, and this is Evolution, which is Triple H's attempt to kind of build a four horsemen around himself.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Listen, wrestling faction names are either fine or I absolutely hate them. There's never been really one that I like. Even Degeneration X is fine. It's fine. Yeah. The New World Order is a good one.
What about the dudes with attitude, Sting's guys?
I can deal with that. I can deal with it. It's funny because it's hokey, but like the Brothers of Destruction, the Wyatt Six, like shut up. Evolution is like not egregiously bad, but it stinks.
Yeah, it's like, the idea is supposed to be like Flair's the elder statesman, Triple H is the guy now, and Batista and Orton are the future. And this is like, but it's also mostly to insulate Triple H so he doesn't have to take any of these pinfall losses.
Listen, he's the game. What are you going to do? Pin the game?
You can't pin the game, especially as it turns out that we get a little bit of an overrun. Especially in 2003 and 2004, if you're a particular type of performer, you don't get to beat Triple H. So, I don't
know this one. Was he not letting black guys pin him? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's Shelton Benjamin. In our videos, there's a little bit of overrun where he's quote unquote putting Shelton Benjamin over, but not really. And this is, of course, after the Booker T debacle. Evolution is right in the middle.
Dusty. He's the game.
The game. Got to protect the game at all costs.
Got to protect the game.
So, around this time that's Randy Orton's side. Around this time, Mick Foley, our beloved Mick Foley, has once again returned to the WWE. Foley had retired famously after the Hell in the Cell in 2000. Oops, comes back at WrestleMania the next month, biffs it on the announce table, and then becomes the fun-loving commissioner. For a while, he's a fun-loving commish.
He hit him so hard he turned him into a fun-loving commissioner.
Into a commish, which is kind of Foley's default anyway. I don't know that the biffing it on the table didn't change his molecular structure, personality-wise. Just his sternum was destroyed.
It might have made him like Christmas a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
We're still trying to figure out which concussion made
permanently
Mick Foley, obsessed with Christmas.
Christmas in July. Which one of those is responsible? Is it Big Van Vader's fault? We may never know. It's possible.
but probably that sounds like something Leon would do.
Yeah. So then Foley goes away, and he's no longer the commissioner, and he leaves WWE for a while because he has a disagreement with Vince McMahon in real life. So he bounces. But we pick up where we're starting out in 2003. They brought Foley back to be the special referee of a Hell in a Cell match between Kevin Nash and Triple H. Which like makes
listen, you two big fuckers really need to. There's nothing I can do if you guys get rowdy.
yeah. I'm just mostly here. I hopefully won't take the biggest bump in this match. Oh no, of course I do.
As he's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably inevitable. I get it.
It was
Throw
me
the
all
micker
along.
off.
Yeah. So we pick up Madison Square Garden in June 23rd, 2003. This is the week after Bad Blood. And Stone Cold comes out, and he's basically doing a kind of a retirement ceremony for Foley again, where they're giving him the hardcore title. They put it in a nice case for him, and a bunch of the wrestlers, Tommy Dreamer and Rob Van Dam and the Dudleys and Al Snow, all these guys come out, and they're congratulating Foley. Even Vince comes out and is like, if it were up to me, like you would never be here. I hate you on a personal level, but as a performer, god damn it, do I respect you. It's a real
you might be the dumbest son of a bitch alive, but you sure are fast.
Yeah, it's a real Anchorman, Vince Vaughn saving Will Ferrell at the end of Anchorman kind of shit. So they do that. That's pretty nice. I watched the longer version of this that I spared you from, but in that they're like, and we've got a wonderful video package for Mick Foley, and it's just every concussion Mick Foley's ever got in his career.
You certainly did not spare me the longer version of this. I had to watch goddamn Stained, or hear Stained.
I thought I saved you. I'm sorry.
You did not. I was like, as soon as they started singing, I was like, this is fucking... Now that we're so far away, fucking. So that was worse than any of the concussions. Not the worst Stained song. I'll be fair. Not the worst Stained song. That's really hard to say.
Yeah,
the worst. Say that. The worst Stained song. I can't say it. Not the worst song by that band called Stained. How about that?
Yeah. So
worst Stained song. All right.
It is funny just watching him get slow motion blasted in the head a bunch of times while Stained is singing. Like, here's one where The Rock just fucking slams him in the head, and here's Austin, who's in the ring celebrating him, just making him forget math.
Man, did I ever hit anybody?
Have I ever won one of these goddamn matches?
You guys are just putting my face in the doo-doo on this thing. When did the hardcore title get retired?
I believe it was still active in 2002. Yes, it was 2002 because Rob Van Dam ended up making it he won like a unification match. So they were trying to like consolidate all these belts. And so I think Van Dam ended up winning a thing. It might have been in 2002.
Yeah, it was August 26, 2022. The last recognized hardcore champion was, do you know?
Is it Raven? It's always Raven.
Close. Tommy Dreamer. Very similar guys.
Raven won it like 46 times or something like that.
Yeah.
So
the title was absorbed into the IC championship. So that's probably what you're talking about. So it was very recently before that. So I was wondering if they gave him like the belt and retired the belt at the same time, which they probably should have done. But it seems like they retired it just before this, or like a year before this.
Yeah, and probably good. Like, there's a lot of Attitude Era fond memories for the hardcore title, like the 24/7 rule and Crash Holly defending it at a playground and stuff. Like the wrestling comedy with the hardcore title, but it had not been a serious championship for quite some time. So like, let's retire it. We don't want 50 belts roaming around, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, and especially I'm sure they were worried about concussion stuff, and they're like, how far can we take this? There's only, listen, we've talked about this. There's only a few guys in the history of WWE or in the history of wrestling that I enjoy watching a hardcore a hardcore match in. Like there's Terry Funk,
Yep.
there's Mick Foley, occasionally a hardcore Holly if you're nasty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
if he's fighting in the Mississippi River with Al Snow,
what's the screaming guy? Ray Smiley, is that his name?
Oh, Norman Smiley.
Norman
Screaming
Smiley.
Norman.
I was close. I don't want to watch any of his matches. You know,
No.
If you get me a Sabu, I'll watch a Sabu.
I'm in it all day long. Yeah. But all of this, of course, is just a background so that they can, during a commercial break, have Mick Foley sign his new book that's coming out for Vince McMahon. And in the background, Flair and Orton are coming by, and Mick Foley goes, "Hey, great match out there, Nate. Randy, you really showed something." And Flair goes, "What did you say to me? You son of a bitch." Like Flair was just, it wouldn't have mattered. Flair was going to fight him regardless of what he said. And that's because in his first book, Foley buried Ric Flair because Flair was not very kind to him when they were together in WCW and Flair was booking. And Flair was upset about that. So they start fighting backstage, and it's very funny to see Mick Foley turn from like kind of subdued guy in a sports jacket making his Frosty the Snowman jokes into Madman Mick Foley. Like that switch is always toggling right on the edge, because immediately he's like, okay, if we're going, we gotta fucking go. And he starts beating the shit out of Ric Flair.
Yeah, and at one point he gets Randy Orton against the wall and just starts throwing bombs, both arms.
Mm-hmm.
He is not happy about what's going on here.
Yeah. And then Orton hits him with the plaque, busts it over the back of his head, and then throws him into a wall. Foley goes down, and then Randy Orton steps back, kicks Mick Foley in his dome for the the necessary concussion, and Foley flips down the stairs. And Vince comes in, and he's looking down, and it looks like he's concerned, and Orton has this look on his face like, oh shit, what did I just do? And then Vince goes, we need some help. Can we get a janitor over here?
Yeah.
We need a janitor. And Jim Ross, absolutely dastardly.
Yeah, he goes, that is just distasteful. I need a janitor. That's the devil himself.
You son of a bitch.
The satisfied look on Vince's face with the janitor line. Oh, man.
He was pitching that all day. He's like, what if I say janitor?
When your unfunny friend says a joke and keeps elbowing you in the ribs so you can't know, like, you're trying to just no-sell him, you know? But he just won't leave you alone. I don't know. I never know what to do in that situation. So I'm
he's pitching it to the writers earlier in the day. He's like, is it Garbage Man? Is Garbage Man the funniest thing to say? No. Garbage men don't come inside the arena. That would stretch the credulity of my joke. It has to be grounded. If it's grounded in realness, then it's funny.
Hey, guys, we need to. He starts hitting somebody. Pick up some puke, huh?
Where's Draws? Oh, right, that thing that happened.
All right, that thing with Draws.
So I'm pretty sure that this is all in service of the Mick Foley novel that was coming out at this time. So Foley was already like a pretty substantial author, at least in the pro wrestling space. He had written 2 autobiographies, but I think he was trying to write if this was the time that he was actually writing a serious book. And then I remember trying to read some of this book. The main character in this book also loses an ear, which is a little bit too close.
There once was a hardcore wrestler who lost an ear.
Yeah. The name of this book is Titum Brown, or Titum Brown, went either way. Because this came out in 2003. So this is kind of right in the sweet spot of whenever he's talking about going on a book tour. He doesn't write Tales from Resco Lane, a children's book, until 2004. So it wouldn't be that one. Don't come at me. Okay. I also like to imagine that they're like, this Randy Orton guy, he's getting over okay, but we really need Like, we need the credibility of somebody to like really get this guy over. And they're like, you know who we have to make a call to? And the Mick Foley picks up and he's like, hello. And they're like, Mick, we need you to do it again. We need you to let a young prospect beat the dog shit out of you. And he's like, I swore never again. And just when I'm out, you pull me back in, Vince. He's like,
Vince, I can hardly walk. Do you realize who you're calling?
I have 4 children, and I have to tell you, Vince, I'm not even sure I'm in the right house. I might be raising some other guy's kids at this point.
I got 4 children, and there's 5 people in diapers in this house. You do the math, Vince.
It's only you, Mick. Like it's like whenever they have to bring back Tom Cruise for the Mission Impossible movie, because in the story of the movie, there's no one on Earth more qualified than this guy who is 60 years old and has already, I guess he's already completed 7 impossible missions. So that is the guy you need to call. But there's not a younger guy who's at least done a couple impossible missions in the meantime.
Yeah, but we don't want to break those guys.
Right. Yeah. We need a guy who at the end of this thing we could throw down the stairs and maybe a janitor will clean him up.
You'll hear about that one later. Titan Brown, I'm looking at the plot. Don't think I could say it on the podcast, Dusty.
I don't recall, but I think I might recall, but yeah, I don't.
Yep.
Not successful. Not as successful as his 2 books about his own life. So,
I like the cover's nice. I'll show you the cover.
It's kind of like it looks kind of like a Slaughterhouse 5 kind of Kurt Vonnegut cover, you know.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, guy with 1 ear. So this happens in June. They don't really revisit this feud until December of 2003. Foley's hitting the concrete trying to promote these books, and in the meantime, Randy Orton keeps ascending through the mid card. He wins the Intercontinental Championship along with the rest of Evolution winning titles at Vengeance 2003. So Batista and Ric Flair become the tag champions, and Triple H, guess what, wins the world title back from Goldberg. So Evolution has all the belts at the end of Armageddon.
So there's Vengeance and then Armageddon?
Or I'm sorry, Armageddon.
Okay. Yeah, because we know Randy won at Armageddon. So the whole freaking faction won Armageddon?
Yeah. The end shot of Armageddon is those 4 guys holding title belts up.
Hell yeah, dude.
So Foley has been reinstated, come back as the co-general manager of Raw, replacing Stone Cold Steve Austin, who used to be the co-general manager of Raw. So many general managers.
What'd Stone Cold go do?
He left, I believe, to go. Was this whenever he was filming his movie? No, I think he just left. Because he does
start a cat farm in Texas.
Or no, he lost a stipulation match. He didn't lose it, but his team lost it at Survivor Series, I believe. So he was fired. And then, of course, they swerve Eric Bischoff because they're always going to swerve a Bischoff. And they bring in Foley to be the co-general manager.
I love that you're presenting this as like, I asked what actually happened with Steve Austin, and you're like, I don't know, something happened in his life. Oh, wait, he lost a stipulation match.
Well, Shawn Michaels lost in the Survivor Series. What do you think? You think Stone Cold's not a man of his word? I don't know. He might have been filming a movie, but he was just gone. And then he returns like 3 months later because Foley decides he doesn't really want to be the co-general manager on the road all the time, so he leaves. Okay. Which is kind of the point of this whole thing. So Mick Foley ends up challenging Randy Orton for the Intercontinental title. And the stipulation is if Orton wins, then Foley has to leave Raw as the co-general manager. And if Foley wins, he wins the Intercontinental title, and Eric Bischoff has to leave as the general manager. And Foley's trying to like find the fire within himself to do this. He like talks backstage with Shawn Michaels about like whether or not you can make a comeback and like does the fire ever go away, all this kind of stuff. And
it was super soap opera-y.
Yeah.
Especially Sean. Sean, not the best actor in the world. Nobody in this sketch, because this goes further. None of them,
No,
except for
no.
Mick. Mick does okay.
Yeah. I think Foley's the best guy at getting to sort of the emotions of these things. When Orton comes out, this is really because like it's weird that I'm more used to the Randy Orton of today. Like this is pre-sleeve tattoos. He doesn't even have the Voices in Your Head song. He's coming out to the Evolution song, which is the theme song that all of them come out to together, which was also recorded by Motorhead. And I guarantee if Lemmy doesn't know the words to the game, as we know he doesn't from his WrestleMania performances, he sure as shit doesn't know the words to this song.
No, and I was wondering, I don't know when Randy introduces the voices in his head to his intro, like into his theme song, but I have a feeling the end of this feud might have been where the voices started.
There might be some voices
creeping their way into his head.
Well, he's not even doing this thing.
No, he doesn't have the thing yet.
The pose, the Randy Orton pose. Some of the lyrics...
By the way, 4 tribal tattoos. 4 of them.
Yeah.
2 on each arm. So 2003.
And like the back shoulders. He's got the back shoulder.
So he's got
tattoo.
5.
Yeah. Well, one of those was a Marine Corps tattoo, and he had to get it covered up whenever he was discharged. It's like leaving a motorcycle
do that
game.
in the brig. You can't leave the brig until you get rid of that tattoo.
Some lyrics from the song "Line in the Sand" is apparently the real name of this song, and then "Evolution" in brackets. Evolution is a mystery. No, it's not. We definitely know what evolution is. We know what causes it. We could observe it. That's incorrect. Full of change that no one sees. Clock makes a fool of history. Yesterday's too long ago. The fuck are you talking about, Lemmy?
I was drunk. I can't do it, Lemmy.
They asked me to write this song in 5 minutes. They said, if I can record it in 5 minutes, I'll record your next stupid ass song. Paul keeps calling me. He won't leave me alone.
He thinks we're friends. It's annoying.
Yeah. He keeps calling me Lemmy instead of Mr. Killmeister.
But hey, the money's green. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Money spins either way. So luckily, Mick Foley, as always, probably has packed his wrestling flannel to this Monday Night Raw. He's probably got it in his bag, It's
in his rider. If he's going to show up, they just need to put a flannel somewhere just in case he gets the itch, you know?
Yeah. Look, stay ready, don't got to get ready, you know, if you're the Micker. Foley is outside of, or he gets in the ring, he comes down the ramp, he gets in the ring, and then he kind of powders out and he's like slapping himself in the face to try to like psych himself up. And then he's walking around the ring and he walks backwards up the ramp, and JR and the King posit the reason for this is that Foley's going to get a running start to come in like a bat out of hell into the ring. Like Mick Foley hasn't ran in 10 years. Those knees don't run. They're like the colors. They just don't run, you know?
No, there's a part that we'll get to later where he kind of runs, and it looks like Hank Hill's dad trying to run. Like, I'm not sure Mick Foley has shins.
Yeah, it's all bone. There's no cartilage left for Foley. He actually powders all the way to the back, and then Orton's in the ring, confused, and then he walks backstage, and Mick Foley goes into a room off, like kind of immediately off the backstage area that is apparently made of electricity, because it's just like you could just hear it humming, and that's where he's put all of his gear. Probably quiets the voices from the concussions.
Yeah, it's also in his rider. He needs a soft hum in his room everywhere that he goes. We also missed, by the way, when he walked out into the ring, and all the wrestlers were like, "Go get him, Micker," like, the freaking NPC ass Dudley boys. Devon's like, "Hey Mick, I just want to be like everybody else and tell you good luck in this upcoming match. But when you're done, we got to talk about my tag titles." He sounds like an NPC from a video game.
Yeah, he sounds like there's a drop-down menu of the various things you could reply with. Yeah,
I just come over to the shop afterwards and enjoy some microtransactions.
I wish that I could come with you on this adventure, but there are so many rats in my cellar. If only I could hire someone to kill the rats in my cellar.
Somebody possibly with a baseball bat with barbed wire around it. I feel like that would work really well.
If there was some sort of hardcore legend, as it were, that might work for a tiny sum to clear out my cellar. Bischoff gets into Foley's face and says the stipulation's set in stone. Whether or not you walk out or you go out there and get pinned, it's the same result. You're done. And Foley walks past him without saying anything, and then Orton comes up and confronts him at the door and starts telling him that like he's no hardcore legend, he's a coward, he's afraid. And then Orton spits right in Mick Foley's face, which is gross, but for the purposes of this, good spit. Like
it was a good spit.
You got to be able to see the spit.
Every single Randy Orton spit, I feel like he has cotton mouth, because even this one, it just like hit and stuck. You know what I mean? Like, they get worse and worse as the program goes on. But like, this was a fine spit because you got to see it. There was some spread. Yeah. You know, there's just one little dot of spit on his cheek. Dude, I don't like getting spit on, Dusty.
No, it's like I'm assuming that Mick Foley did a lot of the legwork in putting this thing together. He is right, getting spit on. If like the spit was his idea, getting spit on is one of the worst things.
It's the ultimate disrespect. I mean, unless he would have just like punched him and then peed on him while he's on the ground, But I don't think you can do that on even this version of WWE. Is it WWE yet?
Yes, they switched over in 2002. Okay, so it's been about a year of maybe 2 years almost of the E. Foley just accepts that shit, and then Orton asks him if he's going to cry, and then Foley leaves, and we're like, what has become of our hardcore icon? And I sort of like having read Mick Foley's 2 autobiographies and kind of his approach to pro wrestling, I think I like and I understand his psychology of like, it's great if the hero has to be built back up, and he should be afraid and show some emotion so that then he can ramp it back up. If he's just a maniac all the time, then there's no if it's a 10 all the time, there's nowhere to go. And that's sort of a lesson that a lot of wrestlers could have learned over the years. There is some nuance to Mick Foley.
That's how you get the training montage.
Right. If you never get beat down by Drago, then you never got to go to Russia and chase the chicken around. You have to have the Russia montage. They should have had Mick Foley training out in the woods and Randy Orton in a lab just punching stuff like in Rocky IV. Where it's like
Foley's in the woods, but he's doing things that don't require the woods. He's just punching himself in the head.
Yeah, he's writing reflectively in his journal.
I'm not even sure why I came to these woods. You know what I mean? Maybe the woods has been within me all the time.
I thought I was walking home. Maybe I shouldn't do this match. So Foley returns at the Royal Rumble for like a quick little thing where he cactus clotheslines Orton out and eliminates Orton to kind of breathe some fresh fire into this feud. Couldn't find a good clip on that of that on YouTube, so we just skip over that. And then
I don't pay for Netflix, everybody.
and then of course Evolution is backing up Randy Orton, and they spend like 2 or 3 weeks kicking the shit out of Foley. So then The Rock returns. This is the first Rock we've gotten since WrestleMania 19. He returns to help Mick Foley, and they reform the Rock and Sock Connection, and then they end up wrestling Evolution at WrestleMania 20, where Randy Orton is able to pin Mick Foley. We did not watch this match because it is not paramount to this feud, and the match also isn't very good. Like, it's okay, but it's not great, and it's not on YouTube. So
who was Mick's partner?
Watch it. The Rock.
Who was Orton's partner?
It's Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair versus the Rock and Sock Connection.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Yeah. There's like a fun strut off between The Rock and Ric Flair. That's kind of the highlight of this match, but did not seem entirely necessary to try to track it down. To just be a completist. So, off the heels of that, Mick Foley is going to challenge Randy Orton for a match at Backlash. And we get the opening of this Monday Night Raw where Kurt Angle is the new general manager of SmackDown. And they did the draft, and Triple H had been drafted to SmackDown, and they treated this like the ultimate insult. They're like, oh God, not Triple H to SmackDown. That's the B show.
Listen, I was balls deep in SmackDown at this time.
Yeah. I hate to tell you, you were watching the B show, my man.
That's not how I see it.
Only one of these shows has goddamn Rey Mysterio in it.
Yeah. Come on, dog.
So
who else is jumping out the sky?
That episode of SmackDown after the draft where Triple H is supposed to be there, the Triple H never appears on SmackDown. In the intervening 4 days, there has been a mystery trade from Kurt Angle where he got the Dudley Boys and Booker T traded to SmackDown in exchange for Triple H. So it's for nothing. It's to boost a SmackDown number that's never going to, like, for a guy that's never going to go there. That was just to shock everybody on that Monday night.
Would you rather have the Dudley Boys and Booker T or Triple H?
I'm taking the Dudley Boys and Booker T.
Me too.
Over Triple H. But luckily, Triple H returns to Raw, so Evolution stays together. We get the classic Raw theme song.
God.
Yeah, what would we have done without Evolution?
I'm so glad Evolution stayed together.
Across the Nation by a band called the Union Underground is the Raw song at this time. The Union Underground sounds like a fake-ass band.
It certainly does. It sounds like a college band, like because they play at the student union every Thursday.
Yeah. Them and Macaroni Surprise are playing the student, and of course, Macaroni Surprise is a ska band. That's where you have a lot of college related ska bands before everybody realizes that having 8 dudes in a band is not financially feasible.
The Union Underground is a math rock band that in 3 months is going to be a ska band.
Yeah, all the guys from one of the other ska bands, Tupelo Sunrise, is going to actually end up breaking up, and they're going to be enveloped in the Union Underground, and then that's how you get Real Big Fish. So, Orton, Flair, and Batista come out. Orton has just had his tonsils out, so he's like, excuse me, everybody, I just had my tonsils out. And the King just goes, that could be fatal. Like, selling how much of a tough guy Randy Orton is to go in for routine surgery. Everything, by the way, could be fatal. Every routine surgery, there is a potential that you're just not going to wake up from it.
Yeah, if you're put out. Put out. If you're local anesthesia, you're probably going to be fine. I mean, you can get, I guess, you know what? You can get an infection.
Yeah, that's true. He calls Mick Foley a coward, and then Foley comes out, and he's got a decent line here, but it kind of buries The Rock to me. He goes, Orton, he's like, I want to give Orton his flowers. Orton, you're a tough guy. You proved at WrestleMania that in a 3-on-2 match, you could beat a Hollywood actor and a guy who writes children's books. And it's like, well, The Rock, he was the goddamn people's champion. He's not Mr. T or whoever. Like, The Rock's a real wrestler. He's closer to being a wrestler now or then as a Hollywood actor than he certainly is now.
Sure, but I mean, it's a line. He's a part-timer.
He made the Scorpion King. Let's not pretend that he's all the way out. By 2004, he might have made a couple other things. He might have been in Be Cool, your favorite movie. That might have come out by now.
Was a pretty good movie. A pretty good movie. They convinced The Rock to play a gay guy. And listen, if you haven't seen it yet, don't watch it. It was a product of its time. You know what I mean?
See,
Andre 3000 has a very funny moment in that movie when he accidentally shoots his gun, and then Cedric the Entertainer looks at him all mad, and Andre 3000 goes, "Don't give me no gun, man." It's very funny.
Maybe Andre 3000's best acting performance.
Probably because I heard that Jimi Hendrix movie sucked ass.
Well, the other problem with that Hendrix movie is they didn't have the license to any of the music, so you never watch Jimi Hendrix play any Jimi Hendrix songs.
Is
At least
that
from what I
true?
heard. I never watched it. That's from reliable sources. That's what I've heard. And the only reason you go to a movie biopic, like we make fun of it all the time because Walk Hard destroyed this genre forever. But it's like when I was going to watch A Complete Unknown, I was like, I don't care about this Bob Dylan movie. What are they going to do? Show him watching blowing in the, or show me him writing blowing in the wind, and I'm supposed to be like, oh hell yeah. And then I watched it and he was writing blowing in the wind, and it turns out I was like, oh hell yeah, because that song's good. And so anytime they play that song, I'm gonna be into it.
You're Mark, dog. You're Mark.
I'm not saying it's a good movie, but I'm saying the reason you go to biopics is to see the, oh shit, this is how he wrote Masters of War or whatever. And if you don't even have that,
this the Bob Dylan can't. He's having writer's block. He's freaking out. He's sitting in the park and he's like sitting there and he's like, "What's my next song?" And then a piece of paper with the answer written on it blows in the wind past him. He's like, Eureka! By the way, Scorpion King was 2002. The Rundown came out 2003.
I do
Sean
like
William
that
Scott.
movie. I do like The Rundown.
I enjoyed it when it came out. I saw it in theaters. Walking Tall, which is The Rundown 2, essentially.
Yeah. No, Walking Tall is he returns to town and he has to take out some baddies, but he's got a 2x4. He's going to bust their ass with a 2x4.
Yeah, but he has his Sean William Scott in Johnny Knoxville in that movie. 2004, and then Be Cool 2005, and then Doom also 2005. Yeah. Apparently Doom sucked, right?
Yeah, Doom was recently. That's Carl Urban, and it was recent.
Go ahead.
Recently named by Rosamund Pike, a woman from Gone Girl, as the worst movie she's ever been in. She was like, that movie's terrible. I hated making that movie. I didn't do another movie that I should have. I was offered a big movie and I took Doom instead, and it's one of the worst career decisions I ever made.
Is Doom the movie that had the first-person shooter aspect?
Yes.
Or is that a later movie?
No, they cut. Well, I mean, there's been movies since then, but they cut to first-person POV for parts of Doom. You are correct,
dude. I thought that was 21. That was 2005. If you asked me what was the Rock movie where they were talking about it was going to be first person, I would have said like 2015.
No.
God, I'm an idiot.
By 2015, he's making Rampage or whatever.
2015 was Furious 7, San Andreas, and Gem and the Holograms.
That's right, San Andreas. Not quite Skyscraper. Not quite Rampage. The other Rock vehicles of the era. We're not here to talk about The Rock and his terrible movies. While there are many of them to discuss, we're not here to talk about all of those. We're here to talk about what I thought pretty good promo from Mick Foley. After, of course, he challenges Randy Orton for the Intercontinental title, no interference, and the whole time, every stipulation that he puts out, Flair is going, "We're telling you, it's not a problem." We're like, we don't care about you. Orton's gonna beat your ass. It's fine. We'll do whatever you need to do. And so, no DQ, no interference. And the IC title's on the line. So Foley cuts this promo on the April 5th Monday Night Raw where he's got a yellow rose and he's got a rose box and he's just in a studio and he's talking about remembering the first time. And he's like, the first time, maybe I pick up a couple, and I take them and I use them all up. And then afterwards, maybe I pass them to a fan. He's like, later on in your life, these are the things you do, but you never forget your first. The first is, and he's like twirling the rose and all of that. And of course, it turns out he's talking about his flannel, talking about his wrestling flannels.
I thought he was gonna be like, the first time I put on that white beard and that red sash.
I'm talking about the first time a guy hit me with a steel chair directly to my face, and I didn't put my hand up at all because Mick Foley doesn't go out like that. He's talking about his flannels, and he's saying that he's wearing the original one. He went to like his box of memories, which might be just constantly new to him, he's like, "Oh shit, I wear flannel? Hell yeah, dude."
That's why he's got a box.
Yeah.
You know?
And
he's like, Noel, what did I do with my life? Why do we have this great house? Go back to the box, Dad. What box?
Go look
you
at the
forgot the box.
Yeah, he needs tattoos all over his body like that guy from Memento. To remind
I
him.
thought you were gonna say tattoos all over his body like that guy from Prison Break.
Oh, yeah, of course, sure. Also, your beloved. We're learning a lot about you right now. We're a lot of your
Prison Break
favorite
was
things.
good, man.
Yeah. What happened after they got out of the prison? Oh shit, they had to go back in the prison.
They had to go back into a prison.
That's what I think that's when I was done with the Prison Break, because I was like, well, eventually they're gonna have to get out of here.
Listen,
and they did, and then they were like, oh shit, we got to put them back in the prison, because otherwise the name of the show doesn't make any sense.
yeah, the show's called Prison Break.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? When Westworld left the cowboy place, I was out.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing. I never finished Westworld either. Can't have that.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
They're in the city now. I can go outside and be in the city.
I never figured out what Ed Harris's deal was. Is he a robot man? Is he a regular man? Who knows?
Who cares?
Yeah. Turns out, who cares? That guy from Breaking Bad, who's not Bryan Cranston, was in it for a season. Never saw it. Don't care.
No idea. No idea.
Not my thing. He's got a good line here where he's talking about revisiting the Japanese death matches and the terrible things that he did to and in front of the Japanese people. And I just imagine, like, there's Hiroshima, and then there's the Mick Foley's 1995 deathmatch tournaments as like the things that stick as atrocities in the mind of the Japanese people.
Listen, dude, it might be true.
Yeah. He's like, I did unspeakable things to people I didn't even hate. So what do you think I'm going to do to you, Randy Orton, who I do hate? He's like, which I thought is pretty good. And then from the box, he reveals it's the barbed wire baseball bat. And they cut to Randy Orton, and Orton's like freaking out. He does a pretty good job of selling his fear in regards to Mick Foley here. But I thought this was a pretty good promo, especially starting from a silly place. Like, I think that's also a superpower of Mick Foley, that he can sort of turn it from comedic into a serious promo where you do remember, like, oh yeah, this guy did wrestle in barbed wire death matches, so I should take him serious.
Well, it's the duality of his act. Like, that's because, like, it's the fact that he has Mick Foley and Cactus Jack in him and Dude Love. You know what I mean? Like,
right, he's inextricable from each other.
Yeah.
And then in the build up to Backlash, Foley does another promo where he calls Orton a horse's ass, but then puts him over by saying, like, he did pin me. I do have to say that he did. And then as soon as he goes, he did pin me, the King goes, remember that? Just Jerry Lawler just getting him in sideways whenever he can.
He's just waiting, dude. Like, it's double Dutch.
Yeah, Mick Foley goes through this whole thing about how he might not be comfortable doing the things to Randy Orton that he wants to do, like shredding his flesh and hitting him with barbed wire and like ruining his life and kind of ending his career. And he goes, but I do know a guy who won't have any issue with any of those things, Cactus Jack. And of course, it's the very similar to the Triple H angle that we covered in an earlier episode, where it's he turns from Mick Foley, lovable Santa guy, into Cactus Jack maniac pretty easily, and he's still got so much cachet from being Cactus Jack, even though Cactus Jack doesn't win shit for years, that it doesn't matter. He could still be Cactus Jack. Like, there's no amount of credibility, it seems like, that could be lost in the memory of Cactus Jack.
No, I mean, because even when he's Cactus Jack, he's awesome. You know, He says Mick Foley is a nice guy. Cactus Jack is the most ruthless, heartless bastard who ever set foot in a wrestling ring.
Yeah,
I love it.
And then Orton tries to attack him with a bat, or with a chair. But of course, you never bring a chair into a fight with a guy with a barbed wire bat. And so he beats the chair out of Orton's hand, and then Orton beats a retreat. And then so this is where we get the recap of the Triple H Shelton Benjamin angle, which I completely forgot about. And I was like,
I'm gonna be real, bro. Skipped right past that shit.
Oh.
I was like, this isn't about this match. Why am I watching this?
Not interested.
Yeah.
Just let it be known. Triple H doing Triple H things to another guy. But ultimately, all of this is in service of our match that we're watching, which is from Backlash 2004, which took place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. 13,000 people in attendance, buy rate 295,000. What do you think about the build? I think the build was done pretty successfully. Like, Orton has his win at WrestleMania. He has some credibility. Of course, he's the pretty boy heel, and he's taken on Cactus Jack, who, regardless of wins and losses, everybody has bought into the idea is the craziest son of a bitch there is, and is sort of promising a spectacle of violence. I thought they did a really good job of building this angle.
I agree. I mean, it's the way that you get Mick to come back. Oh shit! I just hit the button on my chair. Hold on, I'll finish my thought here.
Yeah.
It's the way that you. It's a good way to get a guy to unretire, and how to bring Cactus Jack back into the fold here, and allow Mick to go into his brain to, the prototypical. I didn't want to go back to that place in my brain that I thought that I had gotten rid of.
Yeah.
But you brought it back out of me. It's good.
I'd never go back.
As long as the match delivers.
Yeah.
You can't have all this and not have a blood and guts making Cactus Jack match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is, of course, for the Intercontinental title. Randy Orton's coming out to the Evolution song, and I was watching this with my wife, and she goes, "Is that the Macho Man singing?" Because Macho Man put out a rap album, and I was like, "No, that's Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead." I like that Randy Orton, in the spirit of things, is coming out with a trash can of bullshit of some bullshit weapons. He has a very shitty barbed wire board that he's brought out, and he's got a trash can, and he has like a shirt on because he's half in, but he doesn't know. He's never wrestled in a Japanese death match, so like the idea
he's merely adopted the darkness.
Right, the fact that he's like backstage trying to wrap this board is very funny to me. And then Mick Foley or Cactus Jack comes out, and he's got the barbed wire bat that looks menacing as hell. All the barbed wire's hella tight on the top of it.
Yeah,
and like, well, that's an amateur versus a pro right there.
It's the guy who's done it. The guy who's done it before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, in case you were wondering, he's Cactus Jack because he has the Cactus Jack shirt on. You see. This is
and the pants that say cactus.
Yeah, this is the subtle character work that we know Mick Foley for. Cactus Jack shirt might be the best simple wrestling shirt of all time. Like, the design is so perfect. Just the wanted poster with his face on it that says "Wanted, Dead or Alive." That's perfect design.
It also doubles as Bon Jovi merch. Did you don't you have that shirt?
Oh yeah, I own the Cactus Jack shirt. What am I, some kind of poser?
That's
Cactus
true.
Jack related poser?
That is true.
I don't have a Dude Love shirt. That might be in the mail soon. We'll see. Be in my Dude Love era.
Your birthday's coming up.
It's true. Look, if you give me a Cactus Jack shirt, I will wear it on this podcast. I wear the Surge.
You said you'd wear the socks with my face on it. You said you'd wear the Flamin' Hot Cheetos shirt.
I have worn the socks with your face on them. I wore them to the Green Day concert. I wore them while we were at Green Day. I wear that Surge t-shirt you got me all the goddamn time.
Did you really?
Yeah. I wear it home. I wear it when I'm riding my bike. I'm trying to get Surge brand awareness back out there.
Yeah, you're just trying to get the power of the Surge.
Yeah. Learned recently, I don't know if it's true, that Surge has less caffeine in it or sugar in it than Mountain Dew.
I think I told you that. That's true.
That's poor marketing on their part. You can't be losing.
It's brilliant marketing on their part.
Or I guess
because they convinced everybody that this stuff was going to make you go crazy, make your teeth chatter.
Yeah.
And it was just,
It's like
just
Diet
freaking. It was
Mountain
just
Dew.
soda pop.
Yeah. So this match starts, and Cactus is chasing Randy Orton around with the bat. Foley looks good here too. I had read in one of his books or an interview or something that he had slimmed down substantially for this match. Like he tried to get in really good shape to be in this match, and I think he's at like 260, 265 or something. Well, thinner than Foley than you're used to.
Looks good.
He hits Orton with the big leg drop, brother. And if this were WrestleMania 9, that'd be the end of this thing. He doesn't have the power of the Hulkamaniacs behind him.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to have the power of the Hulk Hogan's ego.
Right.
Cactus Jack knows he ain't stopping somebody with no goddamn leg drop, you know?
Big leg drop. Randy Orton tries to do a backslide on the ramp to win this match, which like that would have made me laugh so hard if the whole build up to this thing is the blood and guts of it all, and then a backslide wins it on the ramp like 4 minutes in.
He's got to know that's not going to work. But I got to give props because we talk about this all the time. What's one of the biggest sins in wrestling, Dusty, with a weapon?
If you bring a weapon to the ring and never use it, then that is a useless weapon.
It's bullshit.
You've kayfabed your whole shit. Yeah,
and he does what you should do with these weapons. He comes with the bat, and he immediately starts to try to kill Randy Orton with this bat. Like, he is swinging it, and it happens to hit the post, or like he's trying to hurt him with the bat, and then every time they got him to drop the bat, it made sense. Randy Orton hit him over the head with a trash can. He drops the bat. Randy Orton trips him onto the steps. He drops the bat. It's not like he decides out of nowhere, I'm going to put this bat down and punch this dude because the bat is too gnarly. You know what I mean? So I got to give him props for that.
He even gets out Mr. Sacco at one point, and then he's like, wait a second. What about the bat?
There's a bat. There's a bat with barbed wire on it.
With barbed wire around it, and of course it's like the shark from Jaws. You don't want to do the barbed wire bat too soon, but they do get into it. Orton gets hit with the bat to the face, and he's busted open. Pretty good blade job here by Orton, and of course Jerry Lawler is immediately worried about his photo shoots and his modeling career after this. And Jim Ross, quote, Orton will be on the cover of Disfigurement Weekly after this. Got him. Got his ass.
I wrote that down too. You know, I used to be a subscriber of Disfigurement Weekly. They lost their luster around 2005. So
the articles became very lazy. Just didn't have the same spark to them they once did. More barbed wire to the face, and then Cactus goes outside of the ring and grabs a gas can with the lighter, and now suddenly everybody's squeamish about this no holds barred match with a certified maniac. You're like, well, surely he won't consider fire to be an option in this match.
And we also have to acknowledge that this happens immediately after Randy Orton takes that bat with barbed wire around it to the nards. Straight to the nards. He's laying on his back. Mick Foley lays it barbed wire on the nards. The handle of the bat is up on like Randy's chest, basically. Yeah. And he does a leg drop onto the bat, onto the nards. But right before he lands, Randy inexplicably raises the bat. So it's like 6 inches above the nards when Mick makes contact. I feel like that might have hurt his nards more. I don't know. Do you think he's wearing like a nard protector, like some sort of apparatus? Because like
the Nard Protector 3000.
Yeah, because that not even just because of the impact. The impact probably sucked, but like it's got barbed wire on it. Like that barbed wire is getting caught on people's shirts. Like I'm not saying it's the most sharp barbed wire in the world, but it's got barbs.
Yeah,
for sure.
They definitely do show that there are barbs. I don't know. He might have played himself. He might have at the last minute tried to bail on it a little bit. And
he after the match he goes to pee, and it starts. You know, You know when you poke a hole in a water balloon and it starts shooting out once. He's peeing out the front and the side of his wiener. He's like, oh man, I was worried that was gonna happen.
Oh, if only I'd have thought ahead. Of course, this is what's gonna happen. He's totally...
They offered me the Nardmaster 3000, and I said no.
No, my hubris. Really, I have no one to blame but myself here. But yeah, so of course Bischoff comes out and he's like, "Hey man, no fire, dude." Uncool, Cactus Jack. How dare you? It's like one of my favorite scenes in the history of The Simpsons is whenever Fat Tony comes to Homer after he's done a favor for Homer and he's like, "Now I need you to do something for me." And Homer goes, "Wait a second, did the Mafia only do something for me? So I do something for them later? For shame, Fat Tony." I say, "For shame." And then Fat Tony goes, "I'm sorry," and leaves. And then he's outside and he goes, "Wait a minute." And then they end up, but it's the same vibe where Bischoff's like, "Look, leg drop a dude with the barbed wire bat. I'm not saying I love it, but whatever, man. I once kicked Larry Zbyszko with a steel diamond plate in my foot. I get it.
Yeah.
Emotions run hot, but fire." Got to draw the line at fire. So,
well, and he warns him because at first it's like, not only will you lose the match, but all 15,000, the fire marshal is going to be right pissed about this.
Yeah.
So all 15,000 people in this arena are going to have to leave, and millions of people around the world will not see the end of Backlash. And Cactus Jack was like, "Oh, fuck, they're not going to see the end of Backlash."
Oh no. What it's like, look, the more refunds we have to give out, the more that's coming out of the old Micker's check in the end. So
and this book is not selling.
Not selling well. So as always, capitalism wins out and Mick Foley decides to not use the fire, but there's no rule against big ass barbed wire board that's under the ring. So while they're putting the ring together, do you think Cactus Jack is bringing down his various apparatuses that he's made from home? And he's like, "Tony, give me a hand with this thing." And they're like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a big ass barbed wire board. I'm going to hopefully later on tonight be slamming Randy Orton's ass into it."
It's a ham sandwich. What the fuck do you think it is? It's a giant board with barbed wire on it.
How many times have you seen me? What do you think I'm bringing to the ring? It's all you've got under here are fire extinguishers and kendo sticks, and that's bullshit, man. Giant barbed wire board.
Mick, you know what's going to happen. Yes, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to introduce this to the match, and then I'm going to be the one that falls on it, because that's every time what happens.
Are you insinuating that I'm going to be hoisted upon my own petard, Tony? Yet again? Well, I'm just pointing out that you're the one who climbed to the top of the cell. I don't want to talk about the cell, okay? A lot of things are different than what the cell had been.
It's 2004, asshole. Get over it. Anyway, help me put this under the thing. I literally, as soon as he pulled out the board, I picked up my phone and wrote down, "Foley's falling on that board."
Foley's going through that board for sure. So of course, Foley ends up getting body slammed on that board, and then he
cuts the hell out of his arm. His arm is cut to shreds.
It's bleeding all down his arm and his back, and then he goes face first into it, and that's not good enough. And so Orton drop kicks his ass into it to really sell the point home. And then Randy Orton, not to be outdone, within the trash can of bullshit, actually has thumbtacks, which is a weapon of nobody's winning the match based on thumbtacks. I don't think it's just like an added accoutrement of pain, where it's like, well, it's gonna suck for this guy. I don't think I'm gonna get the win putting this guy on the thumbtacks.
I'm just, he wants to hang. He wants to be one of the boys. And so there's a box. It's in a cardboard box, and he pulls out a pouch of obviously thumbtacks. It's a pouch, and Jerry Lawler goes, "What's that?" And JR goes, "Who knows at this stage of the game? We know what this is. We know what's in that bag.
It's always thumbtacks.
Unless it's Damien, but I don't think it's Damien.
I don't. As we recall, he has been smashed by Earthquake.
Yeah.
So
Earthquake smashed the shit out of Damien, so I don't think it's Damien.
Yeah, the announcers never knowing that the giant canvas bag is full of thumbtacks is very funny. I also like that Randy Orton, like Foley's trying to get up from being knocked through this board, and Orton's trying to kind of strategize the angles to RKO Foley onto these tacks, where he's like, okay, if I come at him like this, maybe the least amount of tax is going to land on me. You know, like it's like the slam dunk contest where he's looking under the rim and he's like, can I clear the car? Let's see.
I do. Listen, I need to get him into this position, but I do need this to be out of nowhere.
Yeah. I would love, can I tomahawk dunk into an RKO, NBA Jam style? So, of course, not to be outdone, Randy Orton is hoisted upon his own petard, and the RKO is blocked, and he goes straight ass into the tax because he's the guy not wearing a shirt. So the most effective use of the tax. Randy Orton has said in his career, this is the suckiest thing that ever happened to him. He's like, the tax are the worst idea. He's like, they told me they didn't really hurt, and that's bullshit. They hurt so much.
Dude, it's all over his back, and then they're stuck into both elbows, and then the thing that sucks the worst, in like, not even in my opinion, because like falling on it probably sucks maybe even worse than this, but like he's like getting up and putting his hands and like his knees, he's crawling. Like if one of those just goes into your knee, I'm retiring from wrestling.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna call the Marines back and apologize.
Look, can I pull you guys? There's not like a tax deployment bomb or anything, is there? Because I gotta tell you, this sucks.
Oh boy, this hurts like absolute dog shit.
You've been shot. I don't want to minimize your pain. Have you ever had the RKO blocked onto a bunch of tax? I know that's a very specific situation, but I gotta tell you, sucks a bunch. Later on, when his wife is giving birth to his kids, he's like, I understand. It's a lot of pain. However, you've never been RKO. You've never had a RKO blocked on the tax. That's all I'm saying.
Might I add, not 10 minutes after, baseball bat with barbed wire to the nards. How about that?
Only 10 minutes before. Nay, we forget my trauma.
I was still feeling column A when column B happened.
Yeah, there is no Nard Protector 3000 for the back full of tacks. I'll tell you that for free right now.
And it just stopped. It's just he kept taking back bumps after this, right onto the tacks, and like so they fight after the tacks. They fight up the ramp, and they leave for a second.
Yeah.
And I was thinking they built this into the match so Randy could go, get the fucking tax off of me. Get him off me now.
So he can go backstage and go, ah! Sorry to everybody for screaming, but he's just.
But he came back. They fight back onto the ramp, and still tax all over himself.
Yeah. Foley ends up throwing him off the stage through a table, which looked really cool. Then Mick Foley, the referees are coming out to check on Orton, and they're backing Foley off, and Foley's going like, I'm cool, dude. I'm cool. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Like, and then he just like fucking runs and drops the giant elbow on Orton, which
he's like, I'm cool. And then he punches both referees, takes like 2 steps back, and goes in his Hank Hill's dad run to the edge of the thing and just jumps. This is like a, 8 to 10 foot drop.
Yeah, I'd say it's 10 feet maybe.
Straight onto an elbow where Randy's already laying on debris, so like you never know how debris's gonna act. So he doesn't know what he's jumping onto.
Debris, you know.
Classically chaotic, the debris, you know.
Yeah, this might not be everyone's experience, but this reminded me of if you've ever seen a dude getting kicked out of a bar after a fight. And he wants to go back to try to get one more in after everybody's separated. And he's like, no, I swear to God, I'm cool, dude. Don't worry about it. You can, like, you let go of me, dude. I'm cool. I swear. It's not a problem. And then just runs for one more swing. That's Mick Foley in this thing. They end up back in the ring. And then Orton uses the bat to finally get color from Mick at the end of this thing. So I don't know if it's part of Foley's stipulation. He's like, I'll bleed, but I'm not bleeding 20 goddamn minutes. I'll bleed at the end of this thing.
Well, I mean, he had blood all over his body. He just didn't have any on his face.
Sure, yeah. I get with the crimson mask, as it were. The crimson arm is not as well known a phrase. I don't think Gordon Soley was ever like the crimson arm that we all remember.
That certainly is true.
So Foley's bleeding. There's an RKO out of the mandible claw, which is a near fall, and I had forgotten how this match ended, and so I figured he was going to RKO him onto the tacks, but I guess that would require Randy Orton to take another tack bump, and he was not interested in that. So then there's an RKO on the barbed wire bat, which kind of looks shitty because you don't want to, go face first into a whole thing of barbed wire. But that ends up getting the win for Randy Orton, 23 minutes and 3 seconds. After the match, Evolution comes out, Randy Orton and Batista and Ric Flair to help Orton to the back. Did you happen to see the Evolution t-shirt? This is the same shirt that Orton wore to the ring. It stinks.
No, I don't think I saw it.
It's so stupid. It's like,
I mean, wrestling t-shirts, I just don't see them. Like at least those. That one, you know what I mean?
You got face blindness for wrestling t-shirts. It's like,
yeah.
Kind of looks like the Bada Bing logo from Sopranos, or it's just kind of a stripper or showgirl kind of kicking her legs up, and there's like a champagne glass, and then on the back it says, if you want to play, you got to pay. And it just says Evolution on the front. Sucks.
It doesn't. Dude, I'm looking at it right now. It says Evolution. Girl sitting there on a martini olive.
Yeah.
That seems to be...
So is it
like
her butt?
It almost looks like a drum set. I don't know what's going on there. But it says, oh, it's a martini glass. She's in a martini glass with an olive.
Yeah.
And then poker chips and cards, which, of course.
And some dice.
But under it says, gentleman's establishment.
Ah, yeah. If I want to just kick back and blow off some steam, I'm going to Evolution.
You want to go over to Evolution?
Yeah.
They just play nothing but Motorhead.
Yeah. All night, and you have to make sure that Ric Flair doesn't overserve. And guess what? He's going to get overserved.
Rick pre-gamed.
Foley says this is his favorite match of all time, which I think is partially because this is like his big comeback. He has taken 4 years off, which is pretty good for wrestling retirement standards. I think this is an excellent match. I don't know that it's my favorite Mick Foley match on in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. This gets 4.5 stars, which I think is pretty fair. He's got 2 matches that are above that: a Texas Death Match with Vader in WCW, and the which gets 4 3/4, and a singles match against Shawn Michaels at In Your House Mind Games, which also got 4 3/4, which I think is probably my favorite Mick Foley match. But this is an excellent match.
Okay, yeah, it was great. It delivered what it needed to be. It was brutal. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah, and Orton was game. It was Orton bled.
Yeah,
he went in the tacks. It was like, it wasn't all on Foley to make this thing
most
happen.
of it made sense. I mean, there were times when he didn't go for the bat, when he could have gone for the bat, but I'm not really gonna. I don't need them to be perfect with the weapon thing. I just need him to not bring a barbed wire bat to the ring and then use it in a really stupid way, and then it disappears for the whole time. So like, The barbed wire bat was a factor the entire time, which is cool. The bump that Randy Orton took off the ramp was awesome. The elbow off of that was even cool. How they elevated the stakes on every single one, and like Orton going through the tacks, and then you could tell the tacks. You could tell the tacks really hurt. He didn't want to move.
You could also tell that I think he thought that everybody was telling him the truth, that they weren't going to hurt that bad, because his selling. Randy Orton is a great seller, but like his face is like, oh shit, this hurts so much more than I thought it would.
I mean, they're real thumbtacks. God damn it, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. So this is actually a fairly good show from what I can see of it. I've never watched Backlash, but we've got 3.25 stars for Chris Jericho versus Christian and Trish Stratus. We've got the Falls Count Anywhere barbed wire match. There's a 4.5 star main event where Chris Benoit defeated Triple H and Shawn Michaels in a rematch from their WrestleMania 20. But there is also Rosie and the Hurricane defeat Rob Conway and Sylvian Grenier. That got 1 star. And Edge defeated Kane in 6 minutes and 25 seconds, also 1 star. So maybe we'll.
As soon as you said, but there was, I knew you were going to say Rosie and the Hurricane versus La Resistance.
And Jonathan Coachman defeated Tajiri, which is bullshit, and that got 0.5 star. There's got to be some sort of shenanigans afoot where he beats Tajiri, but even still,
that's so funny that like you said that like Evolution shields Triple H from having to take. And again, for the 80,000th time in his career, Ric Flair's face is in the doo-doo. Sheldon Benjamin beat Ric Flair in a singles match on this card.
He's a smart guy. You know, he knows how to politic. So, of course, coming out of this in 2004, Orton does win the world title at SummerSlam. He is the youngest world heavyweight champion of all time. He beats Chris Benoit, and then they immediately turn him face against Triple H, which is a terrible mistake. He loses the belt to Triple H the next month. It has a pretty bad face run until he ends up turning heel again ahead of WrestleMania 21. Has a pretty good match against The Undertaker. WrestleMania.
We're gonna turn you babyface and go up against. And he's like, okay, up against Triple H. Fuck!
Yeah. Oh, no, that means I'm probably going to beat Ric Flair a couple of times ahead of this thing, and then I'm going straight toes up for the rest of this. For Foley, he does go away again for a little bit. He wrestles in Japan in May of 2004 in his final Japanese wrestling match. And then he comes back in January of 2005 to defeat Carlito they used to do this event called Taboo Tuesday, where they would do live fan votes on the matches you would get to see. Almost a Battle Bowl situation. And so it's supposed to be Carlito versus one of the faces of Foley. You could vote for which one you wanted to see him face. And the crowd picked Mankind, and so he defeated Carlito. And then in 2006, he comes back for the feud that we've actually watched this on our old podcast, where it's him and Edge, and then Foley and Edge team up and they take on Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk. Famously, Terry Funk gets stuck in the barbed wire board at One Night Stand 2. And what does he say when he's stuck in the board, Andrew?
I can't remember what he says. What does he say?
My eye! My goddamn eye! Of course, we'll never forget.
There's nothing. Listen, we've talked about this. I don't really love the brutality of a lot of these matches, but the brutality, the Terry Funk brutality when he gets stuck in barbed wire. When he got stuck in the barbed wire with Sabu.
Yeah, his eye again. My eye.
And they had to like stop the match, and Bill Alfonso's like, I don't know what the fuck to do about this.
Yeah, they are.
I think it was Bill Alfonso.
He was like, they are intertwined. One of the funniest moments of our old show, not to mythologize ourselves, is your Terry Funk impression when he's getting figure 4 leg dropped and splashed by Sting at the same time at Halloween Havoc 89. I would just listen to you going, they're killing me.
Yeah. They're gonna fucking kill me.
Just Terry Funk in pain. I don't love it because I love Terry Funk, but his selling, one of the true artists of all time.
I think that same show when he's stuck in the barbed wire and he's just twitching like this with his arms.
One of the best twitchers we've ever had. Then Foley, inexplicably, I had no idea this match ever occurred. He's in a fatal 5-way at Vengeance 2007 against Bobby Lashley, John Cena, King Booker, and Randy Orton. And I tried to look up the reasoning behind him being in this match. No idea. Could not suss out a storyline reason why Mick Foley in 2007 is challenging for the world title.
You just Googled Mick Foley Fatal 5-Way why?
Why? Poor KY. He's in 2 more Royal Rumbles in 2008 and 2012. And then inextricably, of course, he wrestles in 2009, 18 matches for TNA Wrestling, where he wins the TNA heavyweight title. And then
he should.
As he should, yeah. There's a Jeff Jarrett Mick Foley thing happening here. That might be for you. Two of your guys. Kurt Angle versus Mick Foley happening here. Mick Foley and Stang. So I never watched that TNA run. I hear it's pretty sad. He's pretty broken down at this point. And then he has that last Royal Rumble appearance in 2012. He has not wrestled subsequent to that, in spite of the fact that he's wanted to a few different times. So I'm happy the Micker remains retired. This is a great match and a great angle. It's of course very similar to the one with Triple H, where he essentially makes Randy Orton. Like, beating Cactus Jack still has a ton of cachet in 2004. Like we were talking about, anytime that you dust off Cactus, it instantly adds credibility to the guy he's wrestling.
Well, and yeah, the way he did it, man. Like he took, like, it. You can't really say that Mick took the worst bump of this match. I think they both took an equally gnarly bump. I'd rather have a person to land on, but like Randy did crash through a giant wooden box and he landed on the thumbtacks, and like I don't know, like you can't say, like, most classic Mick Foley matches, and this isn't to disparage his opponents at all. Mick takes the biggest bump in the match, like by far. He takes the set piece bump. It's like a stinking Shane McMahon situation. Shane's gonna get the big spot, but like Mick is about to die. But I mean, Randy held his own, especially he's 23 years old during this. So like, that's awesome. Like, good for him.
The week that this match happened at the box office, check this out. Number 7, down from number 5 the week before, Walking Tall. The Rock's in the theater. Maybe The Rock's not watching his friend's hardcore match.
I mean, dude, I told you, I watched this match. This movie. I watched this movie in the theater and enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought The Rock was the coolest dude on the planet, even before this.
This weekend I was watching Kill Bill Volume 2, which is the number 1 movie of the weekend. The Passion of the Christ still hanging on at number 10, which is why there's a couple of Mel Gibson related snippets throughout this thing that he's like, Cactus Jack has matches that even that guy like Mel Gibson would like.
He said he spills as much blood as a Mel Gibson movie, which is even like gnarlier just thing to say, because he's talking about the Lord and Savior of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's talking about Cactus Jack, right?
Yeah.
Lord and Savior. Our personal Lord and Savior.
The stone is rolled away.
I feel like in the music portion of this, there's a couple of these albums I know that you owned, so we'll see. Number 1, and it has been for 3 weeks and will continue for 2 more weeks, Confessions by Ursher. So I like to imagine that Mick Foley's getting hyped up for his no disqualification barbed wire match by listening to Yeah,
it was a biggie, dude. I didn't own the album, but yeah, it was a biggie.
Well, one that maybe you didn't own this, but I know you. We have a huge disagreement about the quality of one of the singles from this album. The second D12 album, D12 World, comes out May 15th.
Listen,
my band stinks, dude. No,
listen, it was a product of its time. If it came out tomorrow, Dusty, I'd probably be on the same page as you. But it came out when I was like 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm the lead singer of a band that salsa makes all the pretty girls want to dance. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Live a little bit, Dusty.
No.
Live a little bit.
Stinks.
You're not allowed. You're not.
You're an original prankster back then.
all your freaking Neutral Milk Hotel friends will be mad at you if you say that you like My Band by D12. I get it.
I hate My Band by D12. I like Purple Pills by D12. This is the lost era of Marshall Mathers and friends. Bizarre. and whoever else was in
Conniva.
D12. Yeah, the Conniva. And then on June 12th, Under My Skin, Avril Lavigne came out. I don't know if you were an Avril guy back in the.
No, I mean, I wasn't allowed to be. I
Back
mean,
in
you know,
2006.
that was girls' music.
Oh,
Dusty.
that's right. Yeah, that's
Um,
and that's complicated.
but it was complicated. But it is. I mean, what songs does that one have on it? Let's look at track listing. Take Me Away, Don't Tell Me He Wasn't, My Happy Ending, Nobody's Home, Fall to Pieces. I mean, whatever. It doesn't have the bangers, but
yeah, it's
shout out to Avril. She's cool.
Yeah, we're okay with that. Confessions, by the way, keeps reestablishing itself. It's like it's number 1 for 5 weeks, then D12 gets a week, then it's number 1 again for 3 weeks, then Avril gets a week, and then Confessions is back. Number 1 selling album of 2004. So.
I mean, that was my freshman year of high school.
Yeah, that song's everywhere. That song is still everywhere. I feel like we're stuck. Like there's if you go out to a nightclub or a bar or something, it's all music from 2007 or sooner. You know.
Oh, Burn was on that album too. Yeah, I mean, because they don't make like mass appeal party music anymore. It's all Percocets and wet somethings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could throw on at
everywhere.
like a Christian rave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like it's kind of got the not for me, but for other people, the AC/DC effect, where it's like you can put Back in Black, anywhere, and it'll work for any occasion. Bar mitzvah,
only
Back in Black. Grandma's birthday, Back in Black.
That's only Bruno Mars now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making the same goddamn song once a year.
Yeah, he's not.
No, he just put out a single.
Oh, did he?
Like a month ago. I mean,
right.
listen to any Bruno Mars song.
All right, that's but you don't get the same amount of variety that you get listening to Wrestling Over Everything. Which, by the way, if you listen to us, if you've given us any of your time or a comment or anything, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening. We appreciate everybody who's taken the time. Andrew, are you looking up a Bruno Mars song?
No, I was looking up to see when Jackass came out. It was 2002.
Oh yeah, Jackass 2 though, 2006.
2006.
Yeah. So we're on the precipice of the funniest movie of all time. So
God, we were just what a time, man.
What a time to be alive. Walking Tall's out. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack just re-retired. Things are looking good. So thank you to everybody who listens. We appreciate all of you. We will be back again next week. It's Wrestling Over Everything. We will never retire.
No.
Oh my God.